try it out.
Look what I picked up today. So we're way beyond BB guns this year. A lot of folks will be waking up Sunday morning to a bunch of beautiful presents under the tree. I was always one of those kids who didn't really like waiting, so I would sneak down there and open them up anyway. I was an only child, so I can get away with it. But joining me live today is Andrew Hauser from Modern Outfitters to talk about not only my new beautiful pickup, but also just kind of how things are going sell-wise, just with the holidays and, how typically things get kind of chaotic and crazy. So how are things going on your end, Andrew?
It is chaotic and crazy, just like you said. Had a lot of guys coming in buying their own Christmas presents for themselves, and then some wives and girlfriends and others coming in to pick up a few things as well.
Yeah, I was there. I was at the store earlier today, and there was a guy there, and one of your sales associates, what are we looking for today? He's like, I'm trying to find a Christmas present for myself. It's like,
That's right.
What? I like this dude. He's a smart man.
That's right.
So what are you noticing that people are really focused on now? Like, as we're getting closer and closer to Christmas, what are people coming in there typically to get?
You're getting some little stocking stuffer type things.
Mm-hmm.
Folks looking for accessories, optics, things like that. But man, a lot of firearms. A lot of folks are been holding off all year and waiting on either something they've had their eye on, and they're deciding to treat themselves or their significant other.
Awesome. Now, as much as I love talking about other people, I am unashamed narcissist. So let's go back to this beautiful rifle here All right. So I've been kind of teasing pictures about this MR1 rifle that you guys built for me, and now it's finally here. And so let's talk about some of the things that you guys did to this rifle, so that because I got a lot of questions online about it. A lot of them I couldn't answer just because I'm just too busy to respond to all of the questions. So we're trying to knock some of those out now. So let's start from the top to the bottom. Let's talk about this optic.
Okay. So you chose a great optic. So that's the Leupold Mark 6 with a Trimmer 3 reticle. So it's a 3-18 by 44. So it's the thing I really like about this optic is how compact and lightweight it is.
Yeah.
Without sacrificing, it's still a great long-range shooting optic, but you're not putting a ton of weight. So whenever you were doing your build and you wanted something that was somewhat lightweight, even though to help balance out that M24 barrel.
Absolutely. And that was one of the things that was the first thing I did notice about this optic was, like, before I really started getting into optics, I looked at them purely from an aesthetic standpoint. I was like, man, I love the big, bulky optics and all the stuff that was sitting on the rail. And for me, as I started to actually learn more about optics, as I started to realize all of the things that were involved in making an optic, it was a bit different for me from the standpoint that I realized this thing gets really heavy really fast. The more things you start adding to a firearm, the heavier it gets. And it's not necessarily the case that I'm just going to be rucking this thing through mountains in Afghanistan or anything. But at it kind of affects the shooting experience in a lot of ways. So for me, this optic was incredibly important for it to be light. That was the biggest thing for me about this rifle, is I wanted it to be something that was light. I do have rifles that are incredibly heavy with Smith & Bender optics on it that are about 18 pounds and all of that good jazz. And they're great for the bench shooting type stuff, but for the most part, I wanted this optic to be light. So now let's talk about the one thing that stands out the most, this bolt.
Okay. So when we designed this action, we wanted something lightweight, aesthetically distinctive, something different in the market. So it's a titanium action. The bolt itself is a 60-degree bolt throw, 3-lug. So you have a short throw, it's straight push-pull. We worked out the coatings and played around some different things, so it just glides like you're showing right there.
Yeah.
It's super light lift on your initial chambering, unlike some 3-lug actions, but we really tight tolerances, and you'll really enjoy shooting it, especially when you start seeing your groups.
Absolutely. And so the other thing that really stands out is, for a lot of people, is going to be the barrel, especially the kind of hexagonal profiling on the barrel. I got a lot of questions from people asking me, what is the difference between going with the hexagonal route versus the fluted barrel?
So it's a type of fluting. So whenever you're fluting a barrel, you're trying, one is aesthetics, two is trying to increase surface area to help with heat dissipation and remove weight. So that barrel that you have is an M24 profile. and the pre and post fluting is 1.3 pounds. So it actually takes out over a pound of weight by doing the fluting, in addition to helping with the cooling of the barrel.
Yeah, that's, I'm not gonna lie to you. I really just love the way it looks. And so now let's get into the more controversial aspects of this setup. Let's talk about the stock. Now, for me, it wasn't controversial at all. And I want people to understand something. Like, this wasn't something like that Andrew just like, all right, we're just going to do this and we'll just show you the rifle when we're done. We talked about this and thought about all the stuff we put into it. And then he factored in all of the criteria that I wanted this rifle to be. And one of that was going with the Magpul 700 Hunter stock. And I got a lot of people online asking me, why would I go with that stock? Why would I go with the chassis, so forth and so on. So,
yeah. So the stock debate is Ford versus Chevy, Glock versus 1911. We could stay here all day. Everybody's got opinions, right?
Yeah.
And there's great stocks and chassis out there. So a couple of things you wanted. You wanted something that was a solid platform. You wanted something that was lightweight. And frankly, we wanted more surface area to show a distinctive pattern and with your logo on it. So that was a great, the Magpul chassis was a great option versus going something more skeletonized. There's a lot of great choices out there, but this is going to give you a good platform for this rifle, especially since you went with the heavy barrel for the long range accuracy.
Yeah.
It helps balance with the titanium action, the lightweight stock, while still keeping the rifle balanced nicely.
Absolutely. So now let's talk about this trigger that doesn't move. I'm not joking. This trigger does not move. Here, I'll demonstrate it for you guys. So we're clear. Literally doesn't move. That's that. I love that. I love every bit of that, especially for somebody that typically has a horrible trigger pull.
Yes, well, there's nothing we can take credit for on the trigger. That's a Jewel trigger, in our opinion. There's a lot of great triggers out there. I think Jewel's the best. Just like on the barrel, even though we do the work on the exterior and the chambering and the threading, that's a Bartlein barrel, and they make great barrels. So why try and reinvent the wheel on those guys? We love a Jewel trigger set at a nice crisp. That rifle there is right between 2 and 2.5 pounds, and you're going to love it when you're taking those longer shots.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to getting it out. I'm going to get it out there probably next week, first thing Monday after Christmas. And man, I really appreciate it. Man, you guys did an awesome job. Pictures don't do it justice. Videos don't do it justice. Seeing this thing in person, you have to see it in person. Now, you can't see mine in person because it's going to be where you can't go. But if you get a chance, head over to Modern Outfitters if you're in the Dallas area and take a look at what they got. And if not, go online and take a look at the stuff they got. It's incredible, man. I love this thing, and I really appreciate it.
Well, we're glad you like it. Thanks for letting us build it for you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Andrew, for joining us, and look forward to seeing you soon.
We'll see you.
Absolutely. So that's going to be it, guys. The last episode of this season of Seeing Live. It's been a wonderful ride. It's been a beautiful journey. I love you guys. I love all of the support you guys have given to me and all the programming and the platform and the NRA. I thank you all. But the show's not over. We'll be doing this live at SHOT Show this year, and we'll be coming back with season 2 next year. So stay tuned, and we'll keep on moving. I'm seeing